Hey everybody, it's Joel Moreno and
Eric Rosenfeld with Synergy Recovery Services.
And today we want to talk a little bit about getting out what you put in to recovery.
I use the analogy all the time, we can go to the gym. I'm kind of a gym rat, but if I sit there for an hour and I don't do anything, I get no results. No pain, no gain. You got to do the work, and that's really the key to successful sobriety. We talk a lot about how it's so much more than just abstinence from drugs and alcohol. We want people to have a meaningful life, and so if you're not addressing all those issues that got us into drugs and alcohol, then all those issues still remain, and we're, what do they say, stark raving sober.
And some of the ways that you can actually feed your recovery program or expand it and strengthen it is by doing the extras, like going to maybe outside support group meetings, maybe participating in some volunteering capacity at somewhere, being of service to someone, but doing some things that are fulfilling and satisfying, and not just, going to school to get the C, but going to school to try and get the A. And that's the way I look at it. It's like, if I go to the bank and I've only put, $50 in my savings, I'm going to try and get 100 out.
Right.
Ain't going to happen, right? And so this is kind of what we're saying is, you've got to do the extra. You've got to take that extra step, and you've got to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Sometimes that's where the growth is.
We talk to the clients all the time, make an investment in your recovery. And there's a million ways to make that investment, like Joel said. We give them some very specific practical strategies to do that. Just right off the bat, waking up in the morning and doing some recovery reading, doing some meditation, some quiet time. Throughout the day, reaching out to other people who are in recovery to stay connected. When we're in our addiction, it's all about isolation, fending off the rest of the world. And in recovery, it's just the opposite. We have to integrate, even if it's uncomfortable at first. If we get involved with our recovery community, and not just the recovery community, the whole world, we encourage our clients, even when you go to the supermarket, be nice to the checker, ask them how their day's going. Start getting connected, and you start feeling a part of, your self-esteem rises, and recovery starts to happen.
It's about doing something different than what you were doing before. It's like this is the new you that we're working on. And this is what we're talking about when you go out and you just do something like smile and say hello to somebody. And it does make a difference, because who you were before in your addiction, it was probably somebody that was maybe isolated or head hung low or just didn't want to be around people and didn't really have a reason to smile.
So we call a lot of these tasks, or a lot of these, you see Joel is doing what we call recovery stretching. What happens if an athlete doesn't stretch before they go into competition? They pull a muscle. And we can pull muscles, recovery muscles, when we go out there in the world if we don't stretch first. So in the morning when we do our meditation, when we do our readings, it gets us ready for any of the curveballs that life may throw at us. And so these are important strategies we teach our clients, because if their emotions are going haywire, they're that much more at risk of relapse. Those were really good stretches, by the way.
And I think that's probably the most that I've stretched in a few years, and I'll be feeling that later. But great concept is start the day off right, on the right foot, on the right note, with some positive encouragement. That makes a huge difference, whether you're doing a daily reading, whether you're doing a morning meditation, or whatever it may be. But
do the work.
Take the time to do the little extras, and you'll see the results yourself.
The clients that we have that really thrive, I don't even give Synergy any credit for that. I give our clients credit for that, for doing the work. They take chances, they get out of their comfort zone. It's tough to get into recovery and really live a sober life, because we're changing everything about ourselves, right? Like I said, we used to isolate, now we need to integrate with society. But those clients that are really thriving, they're taking a chance. I say, do it afraid, the courage will come later. Just jump into the pool, get wet, get involved, get your hands dirty. Just like at the gym, you gotta break a sweat, no pain, no gain. And if you do those things, it's an abundant life. They have promises in the program that talk about, fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. You'll find these promises start to come true. as you do the work. So do the work.
Do it.
Let's see some of those stretches again, man. That was very inspirational for me. This is Eric Rosenfeld and the stretcher, Joel Moreno. We'll talk to you again soon.
Take care.